Naptown, the city that always sleeps. Most people think nothing happens in this town that is halfway between nothing and nowhere. But they would be wrong. There is plenty that goes on in this town for those willing to look. Hard times have fallen on the crew with their lives leading them separate ways. But when trouble starts brewing, Faye rushes off to check in on her friends, though it looks like she is already too late. Meanwhile, Seamus is forced to make some difficult choices as he arrives to break up the mystical grove. He hopes to make the right choice, but choices are rarely so simple in the city that always sleeps.
So we left off on quite a few cliffhangers last time. Faye watched the headquarters of the Tree Gang go up in green flames.
I sure did.
Seamus is rolling up to the Mystic Grove. So things are getting dicey for you guys.
And what's happening with Darling and Tanner?
No one knows. It's like I left it on a cliffhanger. Like, you know, someone
I know.
outlaws.
I just wanted to add the extra cliffhanger note in there.
Well, it's almost like someone like stabbed someone's player character and then left them dead. But instead of it being like 3 months, it was only a week you guys had to wait.
No regrets.
Anyway, we're going to rewind a little bit farther back in time again because that's what I'm doing this arc apparently. Darling and Tanner, you're having a normal day at the Tree Gang headquarters. What does that look like?
What time of day is it?
Evening.
Oh, okay, so I think Tanner would just kind of be just getting up and is, like, loading barrels into, whatever cars and stuff that he uses to, like, make shipments around the city. So, like, I think these cars at this point are, like, kind of beat up, like, right, they've been in some tussles, so they're, like, maybe have, like, you know, phone books in the doors, that kind of thing, you know.
They're prepared to tussle.
Yeah, right. So it's just kind of the general, like, we're all just now getting up and getting ready to go on our evening run.
Okay.
I think Darling, if y'all are going on an evening run, then I think, Darling is talking with Kara, who is one of the Tree Gang members that we made out of game, and going over different offers that they can make for the next speakeasy that they would like to try and take over.
Have you guys taken over the Silver Chatterbox?
Taken over, I think we supply, you know, probably the Silver Chatterbox would be, like, the easiest one for us to get, right? Because that's where Darling works.
I was about to say, I think that that was probably the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, now I was just curious if it was easy to get so you took it, or easy to get so you left it, or too close to home so you left it.
No, I think Darling would have talked to the managers and owners and used her familiarity with the place to add it to our new business venture.
Okay. That's cool. I'm cool with that. I was just curious. But yeah, so the way that I picture the Tree Gang as well is you're not, like, taking over bars, you're just supplying them.
Oh, yeah. If I use takeover, that's what I meant, is take over what the Muellers were. Take over for the Muellers.
That's what I assumed, but then Cody clarified, so I figured I'd fully clarify. Like, you guys aren't...
All right, yeah.
You guys aren't running bars, really.
No, just supplying.
Cool. So, as you're getting ready for supplying, you have other warehouses around the city. Or you have other warehouses around the city, so this is not the only one that this sort of operation is going on. This is probably your biggest depot, but it's also probably most centrally located, but also kind of like the most distant from places, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or it's like there's other ones that are closer, but this is kind of like the hub, and you can spoke off to other places. So, evening has fallen when all of a sudden you have one of your Tree Gang members named Brian run through like a back door bleeding. We're under attack, boss!
Well, grab him, somebody, and drag him in one of the cars. We're leaving right now. And I think Tanner would just start trying to, like, shuffle people into cars and just, like, get out of the building.
Okay.
It's like scatter, you know?
Make a roll to see how leadership? Basically, you're rolling for how fast people act.
Yeah.
Can he use guy that is shot as a tag?
No, I think probably calm authority and hypnotizing eyes.
Yep, those can both work. Or if you wanted to play it a different way, like you were like loading stuff faster and that helped or something. However you want to play.
With calm authority and hypnotizing eyes. He's like mind controlling and intimidating people into just getting into cars and getting out of Dodge. That is a 12, so very good.
Yeah, so you are actually loading people up really fast. You give the order and multiple cars just like peel out like almost immediately. Like you had them basically packed, they're just gone.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You had like contingency planned for this. Like you knew you were going up against the Mueller, so like them attacking you, you're like, oh, finally, like we get to do this.
Well, it's like literally where we were about to leave, so it's just like do that now. Go, everyone. Just don't worry about barrels. Get people in cars.
I think that we do have some kind of contingency plan, and Darling and Kara have whatever like important paper information, like box, grab it, go.
Okay. How close is it to where the loading dock is? Because I don't imagine them like next to each other, or if you were in the office, that's fine too.
So the way that I kind of pictured the building itself was like big warehouse floor, and then like offices like upstairs, probably a few rooms on the bottom, but like the main rooms that we use are upstairs. It's like where people would supervise and things like that. So and then the loading dock. So it's like offices, loading dock, offices, big warehouse, and then loading dock on the other side. So I imagine it's on the other side of the building, but like, if someone ran in, like, we heard
you definitely
happening.
know what's happening. I was just curious how far away you were from the cars.
On the opposite side.
Okay.
So.
Darling, I don't mean to interrupt. I know we're supposed to get out of here quickly, but, I don't think Brian was here 5 minutes ago, so I think we're not just getting attacked here?
Yeah, I had that thought, I had that thought about 2 minutes after he came in here, so I think, and she's like packing up papers and trying to like usher her out as soon as she can. I think that's something that we'll have to figure out once we all get out of here, but the most important thing right now is let's get out, so we can have this conversation.
I agree.
Oh, so, and then one other note, I think, like, the contingency plan would be to meet back at the tree.
You guys can you guys teleport to the tree?
Well, so technically, according to you, yes, I can use the tree to travel places. You did not clarify what that meant. But
I assumed that we could use the tree to get places, but we had to, like, physically get to the tree.
And I think it's that someone can open a portal from the tree to a place, but someone has to be at the tree to open that portal. But I think either way, it's like, if things ever are like, you don't know where to go, you don't know what's going on, go to the tree, is like that's like the rallying point. However you want to get there, just get there. Just wanting to establish, like, our emergency plan, in a case of scatter, is reconvene at the tree, not at another warehouse that is probably also on fire and under attack.
So I'd probably rule, like, since you have been doing well at recruiting, you probably have someone who is, like, holding portals open, kind of like a night shift gateman kind of thing.
I think that's fair.
So,
that makes sense.
Also did I give the guy a name that stumbled through? Brian. That's what I thought, but I couldn't remember if I said it. With Brian stumbling through, you're like, oh, there's probably somebody at the portal having it open in case we need to evac.
Okay.
So, like, some of you can escape that way, because I'm assuming some of you can escape that way if you want.
Gotcha.
So, as this is going down, so, Darling, where are you headed? Since Tanner is in a car, presumably waiting for you? Tanner, are you waiting for her?
If Darling is not, like, visibly getting into a closer and different car, Tanner would be like, backing his car through crates to go and, like, pick her and, what was the NPC's name?
Kara.
Kara.
Yeah, to pick her and Kara up, you know, if it's, like, clearly she needs a ride out of here.
Okay. Is that the way you're headed?
Darling would be heading for Tanner's car since has the paperwork.
Okay. Kara will follow you. Make me a speed roll. I don't know if you have anything
Me or Tanner?
You. Tanner, if anything, Tanner just has to make a patience roll to not keep backing the truck up. I'm kidding. You're completely fine, Tanner.
Yeah, I don't have any
I didn't
tags
think you
I
did, but
would
like
work.
this is like a more narrative section anyway, so.
Well, that's a 4.
Cool. So, you do not go fast. Like,
No, the box is really heavy.
it's really heavy. It's like very loaded with papers, and you have a couple of boxes, so you're like,
And I'm in heels. We were not prepared to get out of here.
what, you're putting one shoe on as you're running down. Oh.
At one point, she's like kicking it off, like, this is not working.
Kicks it off and then realizes she actually needs shoes, so goes and picks it up. So you and Kara slowly but surely make your way to this, and Tanner's just sitting there like drumming his fingers on the wheel, waiting, hoping this isn't getting worse.
Oh, no, Tanner would be, like, backing through walls and crates and stuff.
Alright, okay.
Like, it would be like, Darling is running towards, like, down the steps or whatever, you know, if there was, like, an elevated office, Tanner's, like, jumping over crates and knocking down walls and stuff with, like, his reinforced car.
Alright, so Tanner is doing this, knocking stuff down, hopefully not getting his truck stuck, remembering that someone did just roll a 4 as he backs.
I'm trying to help.
I'm saying that, and I'm saying your decision isn't being punished. It is the number 4 is being punished for if things happen. Just so you know. So this is happening as you start to notice green fire start to flicker around. Darling is able to finally get in the car with...
Darling's, like, also making sure that Kara is ahead of her. Like, she's doing the last person out thing, where it's like...
Yeah.
Everybody else is going to get out before her and Tanner, she's assuming.
And also, just for, like, the narrative sake of this, Tanner would be in his car at this point.
Okay.
So, like, they were loading various trucks, but, Tanner would have gotten in his car.
Okay, no, that is good to know, because I was picturing a big truck full of alcohol, and that is not what is going to happen then.
Well, now, okay, but yeah, we can keep going. So, once Darling is in the car, Tanner would just be like, I'll be your taxi service for this evening.
Go!
Please.
Go!
Oh, yep, okay.
Make me a driving check.
Okay, so, this is gonna sound like a weird tag that I want to add, but understand that what this was is literally my car. So I want to add my Mobile Slayers kit, which is the car. Like, that's the Mobile Slayers kit. I know that sounds weird, but literally that tag is a modified car meant for, like, hunting monsters.
That is completely fine. I will let you have it.
And then I also want to add Marksman, because I'm threading a needle with my driving.
See...
I also want to add truths that are hidden, because I'm finding the truth of the most accurate path to drive through.
See, the thing is, like, you know, had you had a slightly more confidence in Marksman, I might have been convinced, but you already said no with your voice. I'll give you Marksman. You cannot have truths that are hidden.
Oh, man. I actually thought the truths that were hidden was the more compelling of those two. That is a 9.
Okay, so... After a couple starts and stops, you know, you've really gunked up a lot of crates in the undercarriage of this thing, just running them over. You're able to get out, and you finally get traction and shoot forward as a giant hulk of a man steps in the doorway.
So... At this point, it's like, well, pedal to the metal, and also Tanner's just shooting a machine gun out the window at the thing.
All right, roll to hit him.
It's just like, all right, I'll guess. And and shooting.
Roll to blast some baddies.
Yep, so I'm adding marksman, and I think just marksman. Can I add my Slayer's kit, because I'm also hitting him with a car?
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's the only thing.
like
you're doing both attacks at once, so, like...
Yeah, that's an 11.
Alright, so you bulldoze into the...
Can I make one comment? I think, is he, like, tall, like very tall?
He's huge.
Okay, like, I'm gonna go for a kneecap then.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna try to take out a leg and then keep going. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you... Oh, I should have pulled up the rules for this game. Nah, we don't need them. Playing fast and loose, just like Tanner.
Doing it live.
Rules. Where we're going, we don't need rules.
Anyway, so you drive into this guy, and you really hit him good. Like, you see his, like, for a second, or, like, he, like, bends over, and, like, for a second he crumples, and you're like, oh, this is great, I'm winning. And then you see him look up, and you're like, oh no, I recognize this face. This is the face of a Frankenstein monster that I've killed, or that has been killed twice already. And all of a sudden you're like, firing a machine gun just doesn't feel as safe as it did 30 or 15 seconds ago.
Okay, now I'm confused. Like, out of game, I'm confused. I thought the thing about this guy is hitting him would be bad, shooting him would be a good idea.
Shooting him is not bad. It's more just like, he is a big wall of meat. You're not...
Oh, Tanner's going.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's not stopping. He's trying to sweep the leg, and then he's just, like, gonna keep going. Also, at this point, he'd be like, darling, I'm gonna need you to take the wheel, because he's got one arm. So he's, like, darling's on the wheel, Tanner's out the window shooting, as they're just trying to, like, sweep the leg and keep going.
Okay.
Alright.
I guess Darling make a driving check to keep going. Since this is a chase of sorts.
No, that face was, do I have a tag I can use?
Wait, can you just, like, kiss me and then get one of my tags?
Yeah? I mean...
No.
Yeah, my supernatural connection to the car.
I think the way we establish that is when you kiss Tanner, you don't get one of his tags, you get his axe tag.
That's true. That's
don't
true,
kiss me
sorry.
right now.
You're right, it's been a while. Had to get my brain back, but no,
You don't just have a
I
wild
cannot
card.
drive your
You
car.
just get a wild
from
card
kissing
tag
you.
for any team.
Darling, would it be better if you handled the machine gun and I handled the car? Darling, would it be better if you handled the machine gun and I
At
handled
this point,
the car?
Kara's
I
just
don't know
like...
which one you're better at.
Kara's like, oh god, just takes the machine gun and starts firing. As you guys are arguing over this, she's like, I don't want to die!
One thing I do want to do is I do want to cast my rose bush to anchor him in place so that he won't go after us.
Cool. Attempt that.
Can I so I have rose bush, can I also say distraction for that?
Yes. Since that is specifically what you're trying to do.
That's a 10.
Alright, so you, like, as he, like, you sweep the legs and he, like, isn't completely knocked over, but he's put a little off balance, and he looks like he's about to regain it as a rose bush and vines just whip out and pull him to the ground.
Okay, now give me that machine gun.
You take it back from Kara, who's, like, crying a little bit as these horrible monsters are trying to kill you guys. So you guys start wheeling out of there. Tanner, make me a face the danger roll where you're trying to avoid a fireball that is now coming at you.
Okay, so that is going to be Giant's Hide, and
I don't think
Giant's
I don't think you get
Hide.
Giant's Hide because you're trying to dodge a car, not just eat the hit.
Well, wait. Let me see if I understand this correctly as per the rules. So wait, is this a fireball or a car that's hitting me?
A fireball is hitting your car.
Okay. So, my understanding of what Face the Danger is Face the Danger is when you take a hit and then try to reduce the damage. Is that correct, or am I
You
wrong?
can also completely negate the damage.
So I think Tanner's negation would be not avoiding it. It would be getting hit and being okay anyways.
Yeah, he just takes the hit and he goes, I'm built different.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
the thing is, it is hitting the entire car.
Okay, so it's just hitting... Okay, if it's just hitting the car, then I think I would just do,
Mobile Slayer's kit of...
It is not
the car.
specifically targeting you, it is targeting the car.
I understand what you mean.
Sorry,
I get what you're
sorry, that
saying.
was unclear.
Okay.
So, roll them.
No, it's okay. That's a 5.
Oh boy! Oh boy. Cool, so... more focused on the guy behind you than what's in front of you, and, like, transitioning of the machine gun a couple dozen times and arguing who the best driver is, you do not see this giant green fireball coming straight at the car. Both Darling and Tanner will take what I'm calling 2 damage. I am marking it down, because we're kind of just going to go with outlaw health, because I'm kind of done with the tag system in this. We can sit here and then ignore it later, but, like, I'm just going to give you damage. It's easier.
I understand. I am not complaining about it.
As you guys see a woman who is just continually lobbing fireballs at you guys. What do you do?
Even though I have the machine gun, I think I'm also going to, try and do a rosebush on her to restrain her. Since I have tags for that.
Okay, is there a clear path away from her that is not just running into her with a car?
You guys, like, she's, like, off to the side where you guys are, like, driving straight.
So I would have to go out of my way to hit her with the car.
I don't think she's standing in the middle of the road like the giant Frankenstein was. I think the gambit was he was gonna hold you and she was gonna punch. And then you dodged the hold, so she's just punching.
Okay. So Tanner's not gonna cut the wheel and try to, like, drive off into the grass to commit vehicular homicide. Instead,
Let me do mine first.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna use those same tags of rosebush and distraction, if that's okay with you.
Yep.
Okay. That's an 8.
So it is not... You can see that, like, the rosebush pops up around her.
But fire burns rosebushes.
Fire does burn rosebushes, so she's more just, like, restricted from, like, moving and not really restricted from stopping this onslaught of...
Dang it, alright.
And you notice as you are doing as you were doing this, that, like, her aim isn't... Like, she got you guys good with that one shot, but her aim isn't great. As you notice, like, her just, like, lobbing fireballs into this warehouse and missing you as often as she hits.
Okay.
Yeah, I think at this point, then Tanner would just be driving away as
Make me a
fast
roll
as he
to get out of here.
can.
Probably just the
Okay.
Mobile Slayer's kit. I don't think Marksman is going to really be giving you any more now. All right,
That's 10.
you peel it out of there, and right as you leave, you see the entire warehouse explode into this green fire. As
I think we made the Muellers mad. I'm pretty sure what happened there is we made the Muellers mad. I will say, I also feel like we've killed those things before, both of them. They seem familiar.
Oh, I think you're right, and I'm pretty sure we took away the powers of at least one of those.
Yeah, I want to have a conversation with, what is it, Lennox?
Well, Sylvia's the one who made the... Why would you want to talk to Lennox?
He's the one that made the Frankenstein monsters, right?
Oh, okay, yes.
So apparently he's at it again.
I guess...
He might have backstabbed the order, is what I'm saying. Which, if he did, I am going to gloat about. Because I did frickin' warn that ghosty piece of garbage that maybe employing the enemy was a bad idea.
Okay. We can talk to them when we get there. Do we want to go to the Mystical Grove first, or are we going to the tree?
I think Mystical Grove, and then we're gonna drag Lennox Mueller out, we're gonna bounce his head on the steering wheel a few times, then we'll go to the tree.
Alright, Kara, hang tight. Hopefully this will just be an extra minute.
Kara, we're gonna go to a bar with a bunch of magical nerds.
cool. Is that... I mean... Protocol says we should be going to the tree?
Kara, I don't know how to explain this to you any clearer. You are an outlaw, you just said protocol. Can you please have some fun with your lifestyle, please? Come on. You're wanted by the police constantly, and you just said protocol. What is the point?
I hear they're starting to get people on tax evasion, so I make sure everything's in order, and if we don't follow the right laws, we're going to be in big trouble.
I'm just gonna drive the car. I can't talk to you right now. I'm too angry. I'm too spooled up for this conversation.
I'm just saying, you're the one who made the protocol.
Well, but that was for like everyone else.
I do
right?
now, I guess.
Not for the people like
Check
running
out
the
car with
business.
Bill. I mean, he might be like the bad cop or bad outlaw.
Tanner just stops the car. Do you want to go with the giant and with the fireball lady? You are welcome to ride with them.
No, I'm good. Love this plan.
Okay.
Mythical
All right.
Grove.
Great. Let's
Weird
go.
nerds in on it.
Great. Let's go. We're going.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Faye.
Hey.
Hi.
So I roll up to a warehouse.
Hey, I'm the DM.
You paused and stared at me when I engaged.
You very much gave her, like, you just, like, stopped. So I was like, okay, I guess she's doing it now. And then you're like, whoa.
We were having
all right.
a moment, Caitlin. I'm sorry I read the room wrong. Anyway, you roll up to a warehouse on fire. It's green. What do you do?
Well, first Faye is going to internally panic. And then she's going to pull herself together.
But she's like a bird, so all that goes through her mind is caw, 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 caw.
Oh, I did fly here. Did I? Yeah, I did fly here. Okay.
Does
Roll
she
for
need to roll
panic.
for panic?
I'm going to fly around and try to figure out if I hear people still in the building.
Make me a roll to hear things.
Hey, that's a 12.
You do hear people down there.
In the building?
Yes.
Can I tell if it's on the second floor offices or the warehouse?
It is on the ground floor. You can hear some stuff going on.
Okay. Does it sound like help?
Nope. Does not sound like help. Sounds like people talking.
Just like having a chill
Just a casual fireside conversation.
fireside chat?
Casual is relative. I mean, there is yelling and upsetness.
Okay. I think I guess she'll fly around and see if she can see anything.
So you take a couple laps and you are able to see a giant hulk of a man just kind of like sitting there like shrugging while this smaller woman is just yelling at him about how she is upset that he let them get away and be taken out so easily.
Are they inside the building or next to the building?
They're like at the dock door.
Okay.
Like this guy was like right in the way of the doorway and got pinned by a rose bush that she had to get him out of.
Okay. So I guess if it doesn't appear like there's people in danger. Yeah, I mean if there's no other evidence of where they went or anything like that, she would probably go to the tree. Like
Yeah, there's just the assailants that are there.
Okay. Yeah, I think she would start flying to the tree and would see if there are cars heading the direction that she's going, she would try to see who's in them, see if she sees Tanner's car.
Make me a perception roll to look for cars.
Can I use Raven shape because we established that ravens have good eyesight?
Yes, you can use Raven shape. You are literally as a bird and have a bird's eye view.
Yeah. Can I take intelligent?
No?
Okay. What about driven? Because I'm following cars.
What about basket weaving?
If you say basket weaving, Caleb, I'm going to give you a -5 in this roll.
Oh no. I got a 9.
So as you fly away, you do hear a remark from the people down below as you take off about Tanner and his gang won't have their power soon, but I was hoping to kill him first.
Oh.
As you take off and search for cars, you do not find Tanner's car, because you start heading in the direction of the forest. You do not see Tanner's car anywhere. You glancing around and doing like a wider circle and flying high, you are able to see like what you presume are a few of Tanner's trucks, but they're made to be inconspicuous by design, so it's not an easy pick out. You're like, I think there's some trucks heading this direction,
Sure.
but it could also just be trucks heading in the vague direction that you're heading. You know, and you're still a little panicky, so.
Okay.
Anyway, while Tanner is trying to run over a Frankenstein monster and decide if he wants to do vehicular homicide on another person. Seamus, you're at the Mystical Grove.
Okay. Question for you. Does Day know about the order?
Would you have told her about the order?
So, remind me, how did I get into this group? How did I, what was my in? How did I get in here?
She saw you guys have a fight downtown, and then you're like, oh, hey, she's, like, freaking out in a way that people shouldn't be freaking out.
Because she sees it.
Right, because she sees it, and then you, like, approached her and be like, hey, I do magic, and she's like, cool, we're starting a task force. And you're like, cool, can I join? And she's like, yeah. Is that about right, editor?
Yeah. And then this most recent one that, like, the Muellers started, that she was tasked with doing, she just brought you on because...
Yeah. Well, she brought the whole squad of you guys on.
Yeah.
You know, I think he probably would have, maybe not given, like, specific details, but he probably would have told her about the order, at least a little bit, just because she probably had questions of why were you there fighting things, and he
you've worked with other people.
Probably would have told her. Yeah, I worked with a group of people. Maybe not even said the words "the order." Maybe he just like indicated that there were groups of people like us that do this type of thing regularly or semi-regularly.
So she knows the vagaries of there are other rifts in the city doing vigilante-esque activities.
So I'm trying to decide if this is what I was planning on doing, but I'm also thinking, I don't know if this is actually going to help or hurt.
What's really funny is I said, like,
out.
Seamus has to make, or it tries to make the right decision, but right decisions are hard to come by.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
Oh, is that part of the intro?
Yep, that's part of the intro. Before we even got to here, so...
Right. So, before we get out of the car, he's gonna just turn to her and say, Day, wait a second.
Yeah.
So, you remember how I told you I was part of a group that a group like us that tried to help people around the city, tried to basically stop a rift magic from going out of control?
Yeah, I remember that. I also remember how in this process you and your buddies were in a shootout in the middle of downtown on a weeknight.
Yeah, I won't say their methods are always the best. Like we were trying to stop worse things from happening. But anyway, the point is, this place here was one of our headquarters.
Well, that's going to be a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, Seamus. We've been tasked by higher powers to shut this place down. And if you were a lawyer, this would be kind of a conflict of interest, but you're not. You're a cop, so I kind of expect you to go in there and arrest people with the rest of us.
I still think there's something wrong with all of this, but I'll do my job.
Yeah, I don't mean to sound harsh, but they are breaking the law, and we kind of need this task force to work, or else we're all going to be out of jobs. And I like being a police officer. It was kind of my goal and dream in life, and I don't want to just, like, give it up because there's frickin' dragons in our city, apparently. But your advice has been noted, and I will let everyone know that, like, maybe we, like, try not to go in guns a-blazing.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Alright, so you guys start to enter the Mystical Grove. Is there anything that you're trying to do before things go down?
Do I have time once I get in there to do stuff? Or is this before we enter the building?
If you wanted to do something immediately, you'd have time to do that. If you're trying to do something, you know, she's not like... She'll be announcing you guys pretty much as you walk in, like, you know, police warrant, arrest, this is happening.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do, you know, like, if you wanted to, like, quote-unquote, fire off a shot, you have
Oh, not that.
like I meant like metaphorically.
So Seamus goes from Seamus goes from won't fire first to literally firing on his friends first.
I meant it more in the case, like metaphorically.
I know.
If you wanted to jump in and do something before she had a chance to react or say anything, you have that opportunity.
Hey, Day, would it be okay if I went in first just to let them know what's happening so that they don't think they're under attack?
Make me a roll for that bad boy.
Oh. I don't think I really have much of anything for this.
It's fun making you guys flex muscles that you don't have tags for.
Right.
Anyway, now roll with tough.
Oh, lucky. That's a 10.
So she, like, gives you a hard look. Do you think that will go better if you do that? Usually, criminals don't want to come away nicely, and if you let them know, they kind of, like, scatter.
I've worked with these people for a long time. This is kind of a hard... I know this is a weird thing to hear, and, like, every criminal says this, but, like, I don't feel like we act like criminals. I don't feel like we acted like criminals when we were there. It may be, like you said, vigilantes, but trying to do good, and I don't think they're gonna start a fight.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll let you go in first. If you tell like, are there any other exits or back doors we should know about?
Are there?
You know of at least one. You know of like the
yes,
alleyway.
Yeah, there is one in the alleyway.
Okay, so she sends a couple of the people. Like I think there's like 5 of you, so she'll send a couple of them back that way. And I think there's also just like some like regular cops there to help. So you have like 5 riffs among you, and then a bunch of regular guys.
Yeah.
All right, you get to go in. You get first move.
I'm going to... So I assume Sylvia's there, because she's always there.
Yep.
I assume Idris is... Is that his name?
Yeah, Idris.
Idris. He is not around, right?
He usually appears when he is needed.
Okay.
Or when he wants to talk to you more so.
Right. So I'll go up to Sylvia. Hey Sylvia.
Seamus?
So I've got bad news. The cops are outside to shut this place down.
She pulls a shotgun out. I'm just kidding. That does seem like bad news.
I am on the task force that is here with them. I don't like this any more than you do. They let me come in here and talk to you guys first before they come in, so that this doesn't turn into a fight.
Well, I will do what I can, but, I don't get to control everyone else's actions, and there are some hotheads within the Order, but we appreciate you coming in. Make me a roll to see if you actually convince her if she's just lying through her teeth. Snake eye!
Oh no. Did she actually take out a shotgun or no?
No.
Okay.
I said it.
He was joking.
Are you going to go back out? You can go back out and let them know that we're here, ready to be taken in.
Well, one thing I wanted to let you know before this happens is I think this whole thing was set up by the Muellers. And I think we have a bigger problem on our hands.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. You guys have done a pretty good job at pissing them off, so...
Yeah, somehow they managed to get the police to start doing this. I'm actually, now that we're here, I'm a little worried about Faye, Tanner, and Darling. I haven't heard from them in a few days, and who knows if they're in trouble too.
Well, Seamus, why don't you go out and do your job, and then you can go worry about your friends.
Okay.
As you turn around, she does nail you right in the back of the head.
Does she?
Yeah, trying to knock you out.
All right.
So, since you have your future sight, would you like to face some danger, or are you just going to let her knock you out?
I think I'm just going to take that too, and I did not expect this. I thought she was being sincere, and then she just caught me off guard completely.
As you are hit, you are dazed for a second, and by the time you, like, it's only a couple seconds, but by the time you were, like, back in your senses, you see everyone running, frantic, tables being flipped. You hear Day start coming in.
Literally the thing I wanted to avoid. But I'm not surprised.
It is
I kind of expected this.
It is just pandemonium. Riffs are running every which way. Like, shots haven't been fired, but there's been a lot of fighting. You see Gideon punch a few people as he is, like, wrestled down. He's just screaming and yelling very horrible things about these people.
Gosh, I forgot he existed.
Make a roll. I'm assuming you're helping.
Helping who is the question?
Yeah, who are you helping? Seamus, who are you helping?
Gosh, I mean, he's going to do his job, but he's going to, like, try very intently to not hurt anybody. Like, he's just trying to, like, restrain people, calm them down, but I know it's not going to work.
Make me a roll to do your job. In the way you mentioned.
Yeah. I think he's going to use... I'm trying to see how well... Like, I'm trying to think how this would work. So, I can finally explain this now. He has a new theme that we didn't talk about last time. So, in the previous arc, he got rid of his heirloom weapon and now has a new Bastion theme, new Mythos theme that I've titled "The Power of Friendship." The idea behind it is give him the power to keep his friends safe, and it manifests as like an ethereal shield. And basically, imagine like Captain America's shield. It's that type of thing, and he can throw it. That's one of his tags, is he can throw his shield, and it's meant to, like, it can protect him, but it's more meant to protect other people.
Okay.
So he's going to try to use that to, like, maybe slow people down, like doing like little shield bashes to try to like slow people down, keep them from running everywhere, and trying to make sure, like, if shots start firing, that they don't hit people, like, from either direction.
Make that roll.
Because, like, the people in the Grove are his friends, and the people in the police force are his friends, which sucks. Wow, that is a 13.
So you are able to help start to bring order to this pandemonium. You are able to arrest multiple people without, like, really hurting them. You have to, like... There's a few people that are, like, belligerent, but...
Probably Gideon. He's just always belligerent.
Oh, yeah. He's belligerent, but, you know, you wouldn't really consider him your friend either, so maybe you bashed him a little bit harder than you needed to.
Good point.
So you are putting people away, and as you put Lennox Willis into the cop car, he goes, "I forgive you, Seamus." As you close the door.
The only thing that would have been worse than that is if he goes, "Seamus, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed."
Seamus, I'm not a mad scientist. I'm just a disappointed scientist. Anyway, you are able to do this. So, Tanner, as you round a corner, you see a lot of cops arresting everyone at the Mystical Grove.
Ooh. Do I specifically see Day?
Or Seamus.
I think Day is inside. Like, she's coordinating everything on the inside, so I don't think you see Day. Seamus, you have a chance of seeing.
I'm trying to think of the right way to... Oh, is there still a back way in?
There is a back alleyway, yes. Are you parking and getting out to do that?
I want to look and see if I obviously see people in the back alleyway.
There are also cops there, yes.
Darling puts her hand on Tanner's shoulder. You know, I'm starting to think that this is even more coordinated than we thought. Let's get back to the tree and regroup.
Darling, I agree with you. Here's my thought. At some point, Day is either going to be an ally or an adversary, and it's a conversation we're going to have with her at some point. And if it can be now, all the better. But I'm starting to... I don't know.
Why do you... I'm not understanding why you want to do it now.
Well, okay, look. We have a limited number of people that can be remotely helpful assets, right? And that number is dropping as they're being loaded into cars, presumably at the Muellers' bidding, I'm guessing at this point. Because I don't know why else Seamus over there would be going specifically for the order.
Okay, but what if Day has info to take us down?
Oh, I'm sure Dave does. I'm hoping to convince her. But that is decidedly a bad idea.
I mean, if you want to go talk to her, the second she arrests you, I'm driving me and Kara to the tree and regrouping with everyone else.
As a note, I'm not saying that this conversation could not go well, but she is in the middle of arresting people, like doing her job, so she's not in a negotiating position. Also, you haven't really patched things up with her. You guys kind of had a falling out, and you never wanted to fix that relationship, so just take that as what you're going into. I'm not saying it's impossible to make these checks right now, I'm just saying you will be at a pretty significant disadvantage with how you're going into this.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make you aware before you decided to act on it. It's not impossible, but you'll probably be going in with probably like a -3 or 4 for this conversation, because it is at an inopportune moment with someone that you are antagonistic with currently.
Yeah, okay. Alright, let's just go then.
Alright, so you guys drive off to meet your meeting. Do either of you want to notice Seamus? You don't have to make a roll, it's just like kind of if you want to like lock eyes with him as he's putting someone in a car.
I mean, if he did, it's pretty much like you're kind of dead to me, so...
Yeah, Tanner already pointed him out to Darling.
Oh, he did? I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah, I did kind of say that. Yeah, that's true.
Cool, then Darling can just like lock eyes with Seamus as he's like, Lennox, I forgive you, Seamus. Closes the door and looks up and just sees Darling, like, I'm assuming staring daggers.
Darling has the I'm disappointed in you face.
As the car drives off.
This arc is turning up, Seamus.
As the car drives off to meet at the tree. And I think this is a pretty good spot to end it. Hey Wanderers, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Naptown Chronicles. If you want to hear more content from the Wandering Gamer Network, you can check out the Wandering Gamer Network website. We also post Let's Plays that we do on YouTube under the channel Wandering Gamer Network. On Twitch, we can be found at Wandering_Gamers, and you can follow us on Twitter at the WGN Podcast. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. The intro and outro music was composed by Caitlin Balgman, who voices Faye in this podcast. All other music is openly licensed or in the public domain. Now, sleeper, it is time to rest, and remember, it is the gods who envy us.